Hello, and thank you for tuning in to this latest edition of the O'Rourke Report. I appreciate you showing up, and if you want to be notified every time we put out a new report, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, hit the like button, hit all those buttons or one of the buttons. It doesn't cost anything. It just will enable you to get notification every time we put new content up. And plus it helps us also know who's watching and what they're liking and not liking, and I really appreciate it. So let's go on to the big story, kind of hogging up all the headlines this week, and that has been the OC, more specifically Tamara Barney Judge, aka Tamrat, and she has she earned her reputation this week. Apparently, well, not apparently. I mean, we all saw it on this week's past episode, this past Thursday episode. She accused Jen's fiance of being raided by the FBI, which never happened. She then doubled down on Watch What Happens Live, actually said that he stole. The case involved, you may recall, there was this baseball player, I believe he's from Japan, a superstar baseball player, apparently was doing some gambling, and Jen's boyfriend Jim knows the bookie or works for the bookie or something like that. And believe me, I may be characterizing his involvement incorrectly, because the man was not raided by the FBI. No charges were brought against this guy. He's not being asked to testify, anything like that. But Tamara infers on Watch What Happens Live. She doesn't infer, she out now says that he had done things illegally, and that he was, and then on the show had said he was raided by the FBI. So what happened, I mean, there was just an uproar of this. I think people who work with her, her fellow cast members, are sick and tired of the way she does things, which is to put that little smarmy smirk on her face, throw somebody under the bus, see if the mud splatters, and then stand by and grin because she's gotten camera time. She's the talk of the internet the next day. And so what happened is Jen's fiance hired the same attorney that Jim Bellino successfully sued Shannon Beador and Tamara Barney Judge for slander. And this was a couple of years ago. I forget exactly how they slandered Jim Bellino, but I think it was on a podcast. I don't even think it was on the show. But she's got a reputation of doing this. And the outcry of support for Jen and her fiance to hold Tamara accountable. I mean, I didn't see one person say anything online, say anything positive about Tamara. I mean, it was basically big hue and cry that people were calling for her head and hoping that she finally pays a price for the type of behavior she indulges in, all for the sake of camera time, all for the sake of being a housewife. She doesn't care who she hurts on her way to that housewife role that she plays. So that was the big story. The other big story on the on the OC, once again, everybody feels sorry for Shannon this year. Tamrat is going after her over her drinking, and apparently she is doing another reality show called Housewives Hotel or something. I think it's something along the lines where single housewives are going to do a dating thing to see if they can find I don't know if it's a cross between the Golden Bachelorette and Love Island, but apparently Shannon Beador was on this show. That it was being hosted by Joel Kim Booster, who is an actor You've seen him on a bunch of sitcoms, Asian American actor, and he blasts Shannon Beador of being rude and entitled, and I think there was mention of drunken behavior as well. And here's a real mild mannered guy. I mean, this is the perception you get when you see him on the shows that has been. Chloe, what are you doing? Dandy down down. Can't you see the cameras playing over here? Down down. All right. The cat has decided to claw the blinds. God love her. So yeah, so he blasts her behavior. Shannon has got to come to grips with her alcohol problem. She's losing whatever goodwill people have toward her because they felt sorry for the way that Tamara was going after her this year. The fact is, Shannon, if you're still acting aggressively every time you drink, gosh, stop drinking. Stop drinking. So maybe that'll happen. And speaking of, this may be the theme for today. Speaking of housewives behaving badly, we have Brandi Glanville put a big blast out on Instagram yesterday saying that her lawyers have dropped her. And Brandi Glanville is one of the housewives. Leah McSweeney is the other one that I know of right now that are attempting to sue Bravo Television, the producers of their various shows. And I think they even throw Andy Cohen in there, saying that, oh, Andy Cohen made me do it. They forced me to act this way. Well, nobody forced you to act this way. Nobody forced you to act the drunken fool. Nobody did this. Which is, there's a couple. No, there's more than this couple. There's four. I can just think of at the top of my head that have huge alcohol problems. Sonia Morgan. Leah McSweeney obviously had a problem. Brandi Glanville had a problem. And I said four, and I can't remember who the fourth is, but give me 5 minutes, I'll come up with 5 or 6 more. I don't know what the answer is for Bravo and the producers of these shows when it comes to alcohol. It's not a something that's doing anybody good. I mean, it's okay, we see it once or twice on a show, and we all talk about, oh my God, wasn't she a mess? But do we really want to see it week after week? Aren't we kind of like doing a Christians versus the Romans type of thing here? We're throwing them in the gladiator rink, and we're giving a couple of jugs of vodka and see how they behave. It's getting a little long in the tooth. We have to really change that because it's not fun to watch. It's cruel to watch in a way, and I think there should be some sort of rule once the producers are aware. And Bravo, as the parent of this, is aware that there's an alcohol issue. They should be taking the cameras away. Oh, Kim Richards. I'm gonna go on with her in odds and ends, which brings us to odds and ends. Let's go right into odds and ends. So odds and ends, speaking of alcohol and housewives, she was the original that we know of, Kim Richards, the famous fight in the back of the limo with her sister Kyle. And then various other episodes. I think she was on 5 years before, and I think it was Bravo who stepped in and said, hey, we can't have her on camera anymore. She's got a huge problem with alcohol, and it's not fun for anybody to watch. And it wasn't. And she went into rehab. She successfully completed rehab, but she's fallen off the wagon a couple of times. And when she falls off, it's a big, huge, messy thump. And I just can't imagine the despair you have to be in to have that happen. But it happens, and it's not great to watch. And as kind people, we'd like to see them get help rather than to watch them flounder. My 2 cents on that. What I want to end up with today on odds and ends is it's just a kudos, or as Ramona would say, a kudos to Bowen Yang from Saturday Night Live. He did two characters on this week's episode. If you can Google it, maybe watch it on YouTube. Bowen Yang doing the little baby hippopotamus, Moo Dang. He did it as a character on the Weekend Update news segment. It was hilarious. He was so great as Mudang, the baby hippo. And he also did this character, Charlie XCX, who I really don't know who it is. Obviously a Brit, based upon his accent, but he was hilarious. So Google him from this week's episode of Saturday Night Live, the 50th season opening, and it was really a lot of fun. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. I really enjoyed doing these as always, and I look forward to seeing you the next time on the O'Rourke Report.